as now Family Time, 5:30.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. That is Kiki rocking on the ones and twos. Thank you, thank you. Good evening to everyone. It is again family time on Love 101. It's always a pleasure to be able to be a part of this amazing event on a Monday. And here we are once again. And I have an absolutely amazing program ahead. And I look forward to the discussion. So, good evening again. Welcome to everyone, and including those on Facebook and YouTube Live. And this, of course, is family time. It's about your issues and your relationships, your home, or your at home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries, and our aim is to enable healthy families, which will lead to healthy nations. So stay with us and please join in via all the platforms available: Facebook, YouTube, and right here live and also on Instagram. So many ways to get a hold of us. It may not be for you at all, or maybe just not right now. Maybe you're one of those who should just avoid it. Marriage, that is. How can you tell? Why and when should you avoid marriage? That's the issue on Family Time today. When to avoid marriage? For those of you pondering this situation, we'd like to know, how do you know marriage is not for you, at least at this time? So, how do you know marriage is not for you, at least at this time, or not right now? WhatsApp your text and voice notes, please, no longer than 30 seconds to 9973125, or call the studio lines 968-8327, 968-8328 to participate. You can also watch us and comment live on Love 101's Facebook page and on YouTube. We'll be right back with our special guest, Sonia Winter. Please don't go anywhere.
Maximize the summer with First Global Bank.
Maxi for millions with your credit card from FGB.
Use your FGB credit card between now and August 31st to be one of 8 lucky winners to win a share of $2 million in the Max It for Millions promotion. First prize, $1 million. Second prize, $500,000. Third prize, $250,000. And the 5 prizes are $50,000. Don't have a FGB credit card? Apply on the GK1 app and get 5,000 bonus points. Visit firstglobalbank.com for details.
Maxi for millions.
Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. FGB, your commercial bank from Grace Kennedy.
Keep fully connected with Flow Fiber Fast Internet at home and on the road with LTE data and calls for a fast, reliable experience anywhere. Over 500 communities have been upgraded since 2020, making more of Jamaica Flow Fiber Fast. And with Yard and Road, get Flow Fiber Faster Yard and LTE Road for as low as $3,999 plus GCT. Visit discoverflow.co to get connected on Jamaica's largest network. Conditions apply.
Bashco time. All the things that you need for your home and prices so low, you will never need a loan at Bashco. At Bashco. Appliances, house with furniture and rugs, inside linens and glass and mugs at Bashco. You're shopping at Bashco. Whether the north or so in the east and the west, Bashco. Them all over, they must be the best at Bashco. At Bashco. You're shopping at Bashco. At Bashco. Giving you more.
We are a proud, resilient nation.
60 and growing stronger.
Together we'll make the future bright. With Flow by our side.
One love.
One love. Black, green, and gold all the way.
I remember keeping the lead strong. Out many and many.
To everyone.
No flow from Flow, Jamaica's network.
The world is full of job opportunities locally and overseas. Let us bring them to you. Register now at Distinction College located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. In 2 to 3 months, earn local and international certificates in housekeeping, food and beverage, food preparation, receptionist, and customer service. Qualified to work in hotels, cruise ships, restaurants, and businesses worldwide. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance test. Day, evening, and Saturday classes begin very soon at low school fees, easy and flexible payment plans. Call us 356-4167.
NHF is here for you. Getting that discount on my daughter's medication is a relief. The NHF card makes it so affordable that she doesn't miss a dose. Whenever my parents visit a public hospital, I can fill their prescription at drug-serve pharmacies at no extra cost. Not to mention, renovating and building new health centers, hospital wards, and providing new medical equipment. The NHF is always helping to take care of my family. The NHF is here for health. The NHF is here for you.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back to Family Time on Love 101. Today's topic is when to avoid marriage. Guess what? I can't speak to that because I'm gone off the market. I'm married already. So I have nothing in terms of what I'll be able to add to this. So I'm going to be doing all the listening and understanding from our special guest, Miss Sonia Winter. But before we go to her, remember we want to hear from you. How do you know marriage is not for you, at least at this time? WhatsApp your text and voice notes, please no longer than 30 seconds to 997-3125. Watch us and comment live on Love 101's Facebook and YouTube. Or call the studio lines 968-8327 or 968-8328. You can all ensure you add 876 before that to participate. So, Sonia, our very special guest, is the founder of Tea House Therapy. And she holds a master's degree in clinical psychology from the University of the West Indies, Mona, and is the only Gottman Level 3 trained clinical psychologist in the Caribbean. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but what I do know, it's something big. She's the only one in the Caribbean, and that's absolutely exceptional. She provides counseling and psychotherapy, specializing in many areas, including anger, anxiety, depression, panic, parenting, and of course, premarital counseling. She occasionally provides therapy at FLM, or otherwise known as Family Life Ministries. So time flies fast on this program. So let's jump right in. Now, I think we're having a little technical challenge, or she's having a little challenge with her video. So we're going to get her on the line so that we're working on that. But weddings are happening all around you. Friends are falling in love and saying those till death do us parts vows, but no, not for you. You've never really had those forever after dreams. So getting married is something you plan to avoid. It's just not your thing. And no, we're not talking about cold feet. We're talking about issues that suggest you should avoid the marriage route. Welcome to the program. And, well, I'm still waiting to get the wonderful lady here, Miss Sonia Winter. Okay, so we haven't gotten a hold of her just yet. We're working on that. Apologies for the technical challenges. So while that is happening, please send in the WhatsApp. Please send in the voice notes about those of you who I'm not sure in terms of the numbers, which I'm sure we're gonna hear something about that. But for those of you who are at that space, at that place, at that position where you're saying, listen, it's not a matter of cold feet. That's just not for me. For whatever the reason is, I would love to hear it. I'm excited to hear your feedback. So what we will do is go to a quick break, and we will be right back, and hopefully we'll get Miss Sonia Winter on the line, and then we get right into it.
Get ready for another Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 to 5, July 26. 2 o'clock will be time for Prayer Blast. More prayer, more power. 2:15 inside the evidence. We will share with you another powerhouse testimony. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit of chaplain and pastor of the Wesleyan Holiness Churches in Maryland and Mannings Hill, Reverend Michael Cummings. All of this and more will come your way inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with me, Sarah, and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
It's one of those discussions that just won't die. It's one of those issues that we need to make sure all bases are covered. Who's for and who is against the death penalty and why? What should be our stance as Christians and what does the Bible say about that stance? Shouldn't we all be in agreement? Tuesday, July 26, on The Rock, join host Bishop Hebo Steve Blair and guests Bishop Dr. Ron Edwards, Silton Townsend, and Bishop Courtney McLean as they discuss the topic, the death penalty part 2. That's The Rock, Tuesday, July 26 at 10 a.m. here on the family station, Love 101.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reminding the public that excessive heat stress is harmful to health and is potentially fatal. In order to prevent illness associated with the heat, members of the public are reminded to hydrate with cool water, especially when it is hot and humid. Drink more fluids, limit or avoid sugar-sweetened drinks, and exercise indoors where possible. A reminder from Love 101 FM, the family station, in association with the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
He knows my name.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of global crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today. 876-220-6474. It's the telephone counseling ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church.
This is a reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
He knows my name.
Love 101 invites you to set your day before it begins with midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight. It's the third prayer watch, a period of much spiritual activity. You will be strengthened during this time of prayer and praise. Midnight prayer and praise is during the third watch of the night, the time to strengthen yourself spiritually and seek direction. Time to command your day. Midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight through to 3 a.m. early Tuesday morning. 3 hours to set your day with prayers offered in each hour. Midnight prayer and praise is on the family station, Love 101.
Well, we have managed to get rid of all of the challenges and what I like to call them gremlins. I don't know about that, but what the good news is that we have the lovely Miss Winter, Sonia Winter, on the line, I believe. Miss Winter, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Hi, O'Neill.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. My only disappointment is that I can't see you. But
oh dear, I can see you quite well. I'm the fortunate one.
I don't think that's such a great thing. I don't think they want to see me, right? They want to see our very special guests who come on week after week, and you are such a person. So thanks for joining us. I know you're pressed for time and you've taken some time out to speak on this important topic, one that, I will be honest, I never really thought about it. I mean, I know there are persons who,
don't really go up that road, so to speak. But not like this, and I didn't know it was something that was I wouldn't say prevalent, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but something that a lot of persons, I guess I would say, have made a decision to not go that route. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say and what you've found in your time with this particular issue. So again, welcome to the program, and of course we're touching I guess I would say a sensitive topic to some, and some that are of interest who have never heard of someone really delving into this area. Beyond cold feet, it is no, I'm not going that route at all. All right, so should some persons really then, Ms. Winter, avoid getting married?
I think so, for sure. If it's something that you know that's just not for you, either at this particular stage in your life or for you as a person, then there's no reason to force yourself to get married. And a lot of people, more and more people, are finding themselves in that vein where they don't feel that marriage is an essential thing to contribute to the fulfillment of their life per se, and that they feel they can be in many different relationships, either at the same time or consecutively, or just not in a relationship at all. And those numbers are climbing, apparently from different surveys that have been done, in terms of whether people feel that marriage is essential in terms of having a fulfilling life. It's particularly for women. That's a changing dynamic and changing statistic as well.
Right. Can imagine, and I think I have a few ideas of in terms of what direction that is in, but I'm certainly no expert. All right, so we know why some people want to get married, but why should people get married in the first? What have you found? What's your take?
Okay, and many people, and that's still the majority of people, get to a stage in their life where they feel like they want to share their life with somebody else, and by that I mean they want to share time. They want companionship. They want to share life decisions. They want to share life experiences. They want to share accomplishments. They want to share assets. They've gotten to a stage where that's what they feel they need to make their life fulfilling. Another person that's sort of their person to share this walk with them, and at the same time, and then coinciding with that, they've also met somebody with whom they feel that kind of connection, with whom they feel they can, in a successful and happy way, share their life's journey. So that's the best formula. In a perfect world, that's the best formula to start off a marriage with, and those are the candidates who, it's a good enough reason to get married. And then I should tell you, what's interesting, there's also a lot of studies that show that if you are happily married,
right?
Okay, happy, and the important thing to focus on is happy. If you're happily married, then by and large, that extends your life expectancy, okay? Because you're producing all these wonderful hormones that really are conducive to health. So that's another reason people might want to get married, that if you get it right, if you're able to, get the marriage right and be happy with this other person, you just have a more fulfilling life, and you actually have a physiologically longer life expectancy as well.
So let me throw this in then. So with that stated about the life expectancy, have you been able to delve into studies where persons who have lived a single life have, what should I say? We're working with the happy, they're just a happy marriage, right?
Right.
But if the happy married couple, life expectancy is X, and you found it to be, pretty extended. What about the person then who is been single? Well, maybe I guess we'd say happy and single. Is it something that is mirroring the timeline of the person who is happily married?
No, it's not. It's not only by and large, people who are in a and when I say maybe married is not the right noun to use. People who are in a committed long-term relationship that is happy have a longer life expectancy than most average other people. That includes single people, and that includes people who are in several relationships, and that also includes people who are in relationships but are not happy. So at the top of the pile with the longest life expectancy, in terms of probabilities, are happy long-term relationships.
Got you.
Mhm.
I trust me. I don't mind you putting right up at the top there, just at the tippy top. Those who are married and happily married. I don't mind that part.
Yes, for sure. Because the thing is, you know what, it has to do with the fact that we're social beings, O'Neil, you know.
Yes, that's what I was
So
thinking.
we tend to thrive, our body just produces more well-being hormones and health if we are either part of something bigger than ourselves, part of a couple, part of a family, part of a community, part of something bigger than ourselves. Our body's just designed to thrive better, generally speaking, in those sort of arrangements.
Got you. All right. That's insightful.
Mhm.
All right. So let's go into the area now that is what we're all about. Some of the reasons why people are avoiding marriage. What have you found? Let's go through a few of them that you found. What's happening here?
Okay, the most significant one is that a number of people prefer to focus on their career. Now, a marriage or a long-term committed romantic relationship requires a lot of time and effort, attention, and patience. Okay, and some people feel like they just don't want to invest any of that in a relationship. They're more focused on their career and building that part of that domain of their life than anything else, and they want to focus on that. And as a result, they're not interested in marriage either for their entire life or at a certain period of their life. They just know that marriage is not at the top of the priority list for them. Instead, it's their career. So that's the biggest one usually.
Their career. Okay. So I know you alluded to it in terms of the career focused, let's say women, because usually the dynamic is that how it usually is the man goes out and the lady would stay at home. Now the dynamic has changed where a lot of ladies are extending their careers and seeing that they need, whether economy and other things that are causing them, not just one person, but both persons to be engaged in
earning a livelihood.
Exactly. But right, so a lady who's single, the corporate ladder is being climbed. Ladies are more and more successful in the areas. Some are saying, well, I guess I'm tiptoeing on the line of where persons get married at the older age. But also persons are deciding, you know what, I've gotten this far. Then why bother? And some persons see it as when I'm stuck in my ways.
Yes.
Right. So for me to know,
I can't share and negotiate.
Right. This bending of this tree is far gone. Right. There's no bending of this tree. This oak tree is big and broad. It's not going anywhere. Right. So but so that's another thing that I found in terms of personal interactions with persons. What else has been at the top of your list in terms of things that you've heard persons speak of when it comes to avoiding marriage?
Sure. Another thing is just that there's so many unsuccessful marriages, right? That a lot of people think, boy, it's better stay single and figure out my life on my own rather than what I see around me. So a lot of people don't have good role models for successful marriages, and what they see does not appeal to them.
Right.
Okay, and so that's a big turnoff for them. They just don't want to expose themselves in that way to that kind of emotional pain, which is what they see. You know what I mean? And then, when a marriage ends, it's just so complicated on so many fronts and just creates so much hardship and heartache that many people looking on will say, I'll
pass.
I'll pass. I'll take my I'll take my I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah. I think, I haven't done any recent checks, but from what I've heard over especially recently, like let's say for the last 6 to 12 months, in terms of when I've listened to various platforms, and marriage is teetering, the divorce rate is teetering around 50%, close to that, especially Christian marriages and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I know that the divorce rate is quite high. Even if it was at 40% or 30%, that's still quite high,
And
especially
some years,
Go ahead.
nearly goes up to 40%. So
Right.
typically the statistics move, from
Right.
one period to the next.
Right.
Anywhere between 50 and 60% is the divorce rate. Yes.
Right, and that's extremely high, especially when it's either persons are I shouldn't say lying, but I mean you're speaking about making commitments. That's a whole nother show, right? But I mean just speaking about making a commitment, and then because of whatever you're deciding to step out and decide that, that you're finished with that. But that aside, the main focus, although coming back to this thing, what they're observing, those who are in their single space, I guess you'd say,
Doesn't appeal.
right, pretty much successful as a single person, getting 40, 35, 40, whatever the age is that they believe that clock is ticking, or for men or women, whatever the dynamic is in their head. The bottom line is that they're not seeing a lot of success there. So even, let's say you said it goes to 60%, whatever period it goes to 50 plus, up to
Right.
60%, that's not half and half. That is really high.
Majority. Yeah.
And so when they see that, no, I could understand where someone is saying, listen, this is definitely not where I want to go. Now, could we explore a couple other areas
Sure.
where persons are saying maybe it's fear, or just what else is causing this? Because let me just say this. I'm married, of course, going up 13 years, right? And of course,
Oh, congrats. Good
thank
job.
you. As I said to some friends of mine recently, my wife, she put up with me for 13 years. So she's been tolerating me for 30 years, meaning I have my days where I'm not so great, but it's work in progress. It's something that you're going, as I said, the companionship, what I've gotten from being with her has been more beneficial than I've been alone in terms of many aspects, learning, maturing, growing. And I can speak to many things in that regard. But that's me. But there are others who are looking on and saying, listen, it's just not something that I see myself doing successfully or at all. So what else can you add to that into what you
Yes.
see?
Another reason is that people, they're, because, that same 60% of people that we spoke about who are getting divorced or ending their relationships, a big part of them will get to a place where they don't want to remarry, because the divorce rates of second marriages are even higher. Those are like 70 to 80%
I heard
of
that.
second marriages, right? So
Right.
some
The
people
further
do-
along you go, it's the divorce rate is higher, second or third.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So some people, they've already tried it and it hasn't worked. So they're like, that's it. I'm done. I'm taking,
Right.
I'm taking my toys and I'm going home. I'm not
Yeah.
engaging anymore. And so that's another reason why some people, said avoid it. They're once bitten.
Right. Twice shy.
Right, and they're twice shy. And then of course there's so many people too who just don't like the fact that sort of aligned with marriage is an assumption of monogamy as well. They're like, that doesn't work for me either. They want to be more, I guess, sexually and emotionally adventurous.
Right.
And so they don't like the idea of just having this
Basically being
exclusive
tied down to one
relationship.
person.
Right. This exclusivity just doesn't appeal to them at all,
Wow.
And so that for that reason they would also avoid marriage.
Wow. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit.
Mhm.
So well, a
And
fast approach.
actually, as you say that, there's also the opposite end of that, where people consider themselves asexual and they don't want to have that kind of relationship for their life either. So
Right.
it's a continuum. Let's put it that way.
Got you. All right. Remember to tell us, how do you know marriage is not for you, at least at this time? Or for some, as Mr. saying, none at all, right? We're looking forward to your responses. WhatsApp, text, and voice notes, please, no longer than 30 seconds to 997-3125. Watch us and comment live on Love 101, the Facebook and YouTube, or call our studio lines at 968-8327, 968-8328 to participate. And just so you know, the numbers for Family Life Ministries head office in Kingston are 9201034, 926-8101. Mrs. Winter is here with me, and I'm enjoying our conversation. We're going to a quick break, and it is now 6 p.m. Let's go to a break, and we will be right back.
We are back outside with families, friends, and more fun at Fun Fest Family Festival. Monday, August 1st, come experience the New Hope Garden, Bounce Play, Splash in the Fantastic Fun Zone, Water Park, Family Concert, Mascot Parade, Games Arcade, and Bingo. Adults 1,000, children 3 years and over 700, and toddlers free. Fun Fest Family Festival, Monday, August 1st, Emancipation Day at the New Hope Garden. Gates open at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come out early. Fun Fest.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, present
The Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show
from July 30 to August 1
at the Denby Showground, Maypen, Clarendon.
Yes,
Gates
sir.
open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily.
Admission $1,200 for adults, $600 for children. Jamaicans, grow smart, eat smart. Come celebrate Jamaica 60 at Denby 2022.
Your taxes hold the key.
Property owners, property taxes for year 2022-2023 are due. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. So many ways to pay. You choose. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the TAJ mobile app, mobile tax collection unit, and NCB online banking. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
Oh yeah, this Fosca, made in Jamaica. Porridge, oats, oatmeal, cornmeal with banana.
Yo, proud of we culture, yes, we love Fosca. Only for protein, good source of fiber.
Love my family, me love my Fosca. I feel with Fosca, I feel with Fosca. I love with Fosca. I feel with Fosca.
We have to prosper, we don't want Fosca. Good for the sugar level and the blood pressure.
Made in Jamaica, we love with Fosca.
Getting married soon, you can save up to 70% off your wedding attire, rings, and more at the sweetest weddings Jamaica Wedding Bonanza at the Alhambra Inn Hotel on Saturday, August 27, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bring your entire bridal party and shop at our pop-up bridal boutique. You also get to enjoy the Couture's runway fashion show. For more details, visit thesweetestweddingsjamaica.com. Get your tickets online or in store.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I've been having a really good conversation with Miss Sonia Winter, and we're going to pick right back up in just a moment. But before that, we have a couple comments on Facebook. Let us see what our viewers and listeners have been saying. So Vicky Nelson says, some people avoid marriage if they are doing well. I think Miss Winter also, I think you mentioned something to that effect.
Right, yeah.
And then Crystal Reed says, been in and out of one, but I'm not giving up on the matter of marriage. All right, commendations.
Good for you, Crystal.
Good for you, good for you. Our divorce rates are that high because many are marrying for the wrong reasons. Great comment there. I think so, Ashana Lee. I think so.
I mean, O'Neill, would you allow me to object? The truth is that some people do get married for the wrong reasons, but most get married with the best of intentions. Very few people race into marriage for wrong reasons. Okay, most people, they get married because they believe they can make it work. That's most people. The divorce rate is high, however, because people almost don't have the skills now to be half of what we call a marital union. You know, it's almost like a different skill set. You will know, O'Neill, it's a different skill set required to survive as an individual in this world than thriving now as half of this union. And a lot of people don't have those skills. You know, they don't have the conflict management skills. They don't have the skills to maintain their friendship. They don't have the skills to integrate their lives. Those are very specific skills, to be transparent, to be able to, you know, not avoid conflict or shut down or become aggressive. It's about skills, quite frankly, especially as more and more people become independent and marriage is a choice. Before, people used to, you know, people were just as unhappy years and years ago in marriage as they are today. They just didn't have the choice to get out of it. You know what I mean? And so that's why the divorce rate is high, is that people now have a choice. And so they don't have to stay in an unhappy marriage anymore as they did in our parents' and grandparents' time.
Got you. All right, let me also be quick to say, I probably agree with that. Maybe I just brushed over or overlooked the word she used, as she said, most or many, one of those things, which I properly identify. So maybe that's not the case. But what you said in terms of your description, that's why you are who you are. You picked up on that. So it would be persons going with the best of intentions, and, you know, have persons who are going the best of intentions, are desirous about a great marriage, you know, the dream marriage. Both men and women, they don't let the guys fool you. They desire to have that great marriage, you know, at the back end of, you know, not just the ladies. The ladies may be more expressive, but the both parties would want to have long, happy marriages. But unfortunately, when they get into it, I think also adding to what you're saying about not having the proper skills, which is, I agree in terms of what we'll be willing to learn along the way, you know, because you're going with an idea. We all going with what we believe marriage is going to look like. Whether it's through movies, whether it's through whatever the case may be, and we have an idea of what it looks like. And when two come together, it doesn't work out that way in the initial stage. We believe that the first year is going to be breezing along, and it's going to be all, you know, as a reference, I says peaches and sunshine and rainbows. And when you realize that, listen, see me and live with me, two different things, and then all of a sudden now we're hit with this thing, like, you know, I have my ways and you have your ways. How we're going to now be able to come together and be amicable and be able to give and take.
I call it negotiate, you know, negotiate, because it's two different people. The only way you won't have conflict is if once you have two different minds in a relationship, you're going to have conflict. Okay. And I think most of us see conflict as toxic in and of itself, and it is not in and of itself. It doesn't have to be. How we handle it that tears our relationship apart, unfortunately.
It's probably the word, how we use the words are the words we're saying. So once you hear conflict or you hear whatever disagreement or whatever the term might be, it's like all of a sudden the guard is up and it's like, Lord, you know, whatever. But
I never signed up for this. This is not what I signed up for this thing,
you know? Right. I didn't sign up for this. That's not what, you know. So perfectly I'm said, and I agree with that. So let's look at some other things. And again, let me just say a special thanks to the wonderful persons who participated in terms of the comments. We're asking for more via WhatsApp and Facebook. And also don't forget that you can send voice notes and you can also call the studio line. So we are available. And let me say as well that I'm seeing the lovely Miss Winter. So not only is she seeing me, I'm seeing her. And there's a pleasant face on the other side. So that makes it even that much better.
Thank you so much.
So what are the reasons, you're more than welcome, what are the reasons people should avoid marriage? So we're going to continue along that line. One of the things...
Sorry, go ahead, Donina.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm trying to remember if you mentioned it, but one of the things persons have are huge trust issues, right? Sometimes I don't know, like I would say, joking, and sometimes it's true. You can't trust yourself because of how we operate in terms of saying you're gonna do something you don't do, you know, keeping that integrity. But no, it's not just me with my own troublesome, but there's someone else that I have to be thinking about. What do you do when it comes to trust issues or persons having a concern about not getting married because of trust?
Right. Well, I would put trust issues in the same category as people who have had difficult relationships and don't want to get into marriage again. So people have painful relationships or painful marriages or painful long-term relationships because of a myriad of different reasons, such as violated trust. Okay. And so for that reason, you know, they just don't feel they can trust again. And that keeps them away. So trust is amongst one of the reasons why relationships can be painful or unsuccessful. And then once you get to that juncture, you decide, okay, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm not the one. We're back to the once bitten again. and not going back.
Wow. Serious business. That's serious business. What else have you come across with persons who, you know, they're just not interested in marriage? What about,
you know, it's a big one, O'Neill, financial, right? Because
wow,
more and more it's expensive to get married. So there are a lot of people who are quite happy in a common law relationship, you know what I mean? And they don't feel they need the state. They see it more as a state issue, you know, particularly depending on what their faith-based, their faith-based background is.
Right.
They might say, yeah, you know, this, what am I going to spend money for people to come and eat up my money and nothing not going to change between me and you? We're quite happy living together. So, you know, we have our children. We know we're committed to each other. So that's it. We don't need to be married. So financial is a big thing too. And actually that's on the other side as well, because some people know that divorce is very expensive as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Once the lawyers,
marriage was expensive, right?
Yeah, once lawyers get involved, you're looking at a black hole there that you're just pouring your money into. So that's another reason why you know, some people avoid that as well. So the finances is something that a lot of people consider, you know. And also I have met people who they are, let's call it, financially independent, and they're not comfortable sharing that status or that wealth with anybody, or making themselves vulnerable that to loss because of a divorce and so on, you know. So that's another reason. So the finances can play a role in different ways in terms of preventing people from taking the plunge.
Got you. And persons are saying that you know, we together a whole long way, right? And all of a sudden them hear about whoever else, Joneses get married, and that's pure problem now. So why am I going to marriage? Right? Pure problem when them get married is like some kind of curse hit with. Right?
Exactly. So that comes back to what we were talking about earlier, where the role, what people see of marriage doesn't appeal to them at all. Right. You know what I mean? You know, I always talk about how I remember when I was, the last time I was on this show, I was talking about how I remember when I was getting married, I was looking at the guest list. This is about 2 weeks before the wedding, looking at the guest list. And as I was going down the guest list, I was saying, oh my Lord, but I don't see any couple on this guest list whose marriage I would want to emulate. Wow. And I remember O'Neill had a panic attack. I said, but what I think I know that all of these people never know. Why me thinks me so special that I'm going to be any happier than them? Yeah. So, and I really had a panic attack, and the only thing I could do was just get down on my knees and say, Lord, well, I'm doing it with the best of intentions. Beg you, just hold my hand and walk with me and carry me through this, please. Sort of. That's the only thing I could do, and just go ahead with it, you know. But as I said, you know, there was just no role models of people who, I mean, they exist, but they're certainly the minority, unfortunately. And many of us don't have the benefit of seeing dedicated, happy couples in our lives.
True. And unfortunately, as I said, not that I think 13 years is extremely long. To some would be said, well, that's a long time. But unfortunately, similar to you, haven't really seen a lot. Some, a few, but not a lot. And that also, I could say, speaks to why persons are avoiding getting married. We're again approaching a break, and you know, time goes by so quickly. But anything else that you think you'd want to add before we go to our final segment, before we, you know, that comes to mind?
Yes, you kind of touched on it a little bit on O'Neill, in that as more and more women become independent, marriage is seen almost like a patriarchal institution, as it were. Because if you think about it, you know, there are all these symbolic symbols of another era that continue to exist in marriage, where women were really property that were transferred from their father to their husband, right? And thus, you know, that's where the giveaway father comes from, right? He gives away his daughter. That was kind of symbolic of the fact that from a time when women were property, right? The woman takes on the man's name, sort of a thing. And that doesn't say, again.
Well, you know, but let's not get into the name thing now. That's That's another
Yeah,
ballgame.
right?
We'll probably have to start that in the third segment, because that thing about double barrel or keeping my name and all of that, that's another story. Listen, we're approaching another break again. Amazing. This is just exciting, good stuff coming from Miss Winter. Let me just say this quickly. Apart from overseas, this is our listener. She said, so right about that. No one not sitting in a dead marriage from it's not working. We have to move on, speaking from her own feelings. All right. So we're heading into our final break. This is Family Time live on Love 101, Facebook and YouTube. It's produced by Family Life Ministries for social media. So what we're going to do is jump to a quick break. Remember, send the messages WhatsApp and Facebook, and we'll share them on this platform. Go to a quick break and we will be right back.
It hurts if you don't check first. The excellent customer service, our staff is knowledgeable and trustworthy. And we have a wide variety to supply society, and the price is right, yes, it's worth it. The solution to your auto parts links to one-stop shop, and we deliver to. So if you can't come in, just link with our WhatsApp or call and make your order. And remember, there's no other. So it hurts if you don't check first. So there's no need to search. It hurts if you don't check first.
Your taxes hold the key.
Property owners, property taxes for year 2022-2023 are due. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. So many ways to pay. You choose. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the TAJ mobile app, mobile tax collection unit, and NCB online banking. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357, or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
FunFest is fun can done thanks to our partners Oreo, Cadbury, Can, Nupa, Kraft Heinz, and Love FM. Come enjoy FunFest Family Festival with family, friends, and fun. Monday, August 1st, Emancipation Day at the New Hope Gardens. Gates open at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Follow us on social media at FunFestJA.
FunFest.
Make an impact on your career. Earn real money. Get 3 to 4 local and international certification in practical nursing and early childhood education with free CXC or CAPE subjects in 6 to 12 months at Distinction College, located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. Earn global certificates in 3 months in geriatric nursing, phlebotomy, childcare. We have the lowest school fees around. Classes begin very soon. Call us 356-4167.
All right. We are back in our final segment. Time is fast running away from us, but I'm having a wonderful conversation with Sonia Winter, who has just been fabulous in fielding all my questions and responding to what has been happening in terms of this space. It is 80 minutes past the hour of 6, and you're tuning to Love 101. This is Family Time, brought to you by Family Life Ministries, FLM. FLM provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Listen out for our numbers in Kingston and Poma at the end of the program. Remember, we're Facebook and YouTube live, so tune into the program via Love 101 Facebook page and YouTube channel. Again, the topic is when to avoid marriage. Associate Clinical Psychologist Sonia Winter is our wonderful special guest. She provides counseling and psychotherapy, specializing in many areas, including anger, anxiety, depression, panic, and parenting. And of course, what we're dealing with now, premarital, or some said non-marital counseling, because some don't want to some don't want to commit at all. And she is the founder of Tea House Therapy. Love that name. All right. So please continue to send in your comments on WhatsApp, via voice note, call our studio lines, and continue to send in messages on Facebook, and we will share that. The studio will pass that on, and we will share that here. So we decided you should avoid the whole split marriage thing. How do you navigate around your friends and relatives, or even people at church that don't understand and still try to pressure you? Now, boy, the pressure thing serious. never really, well, it kind of they come to me in a way, but not fully. But I know some people get some serious pressure, especially when the numbers start ticking up for the ladies, right?
Yes.
It's not that you're not ready or you don't see anybody, you're just plain not interested. All right.
Yeah.
Now, how to deal with the external forces? We're not talking about the breeze blowing outside or the sun shining. We're talking about persons now putting on the pressure. Swinter, talk to me. How people deal with the external forces?
You know what, O'Neill? A big part of it, I would say, is almost acceptance. I think in part, it would be beneficial to you if you just accept that we live in a society where marriage is more the norm. And if you choose not, and by norm, I mean statistically, it's more, on average, far more people do get married than people who don't. And therefore, people are, as Bob says, people have so much things to say. And it's almost as if, you just go out expecting to hear it with that tone of acceptance. You live in a place where it's going to rain outside, so you just go outside and you carry your umbrella. That is as such as it is. So I think that's a big part of giving you some peace of mind that it's going to happen, and you can just navigate it. Then sometimes you do want to just express yourself and say, this is a personal choice, and it's not for me. Sort of lobbying for yourself as well, where in appropriate settings where you feel so inclined to do.
Right.
But if you kind of engage in a hostile or aggressive way, then you probably engage in a way where you're going to lose that. You're gonna lose that fight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you're going to lose a little bit of credibility. Sometimes when you're too how should I say, aggressive in your response, people are going to think, well, sounds like sour grapes to me more than anything else. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So it's kind of being firm if you feel so inclined, but with an air of confidence where I'm stating my piece. You can accept it or decline it. It's whatever you choose, but this works for me.
Yeah, it's probably because of all the pressure for whatever number of years or however it has come along. And, there's a pressure bust pipe or burst pipe for those who are using the English vernacular, right?
Right.
And so with all that pressure, you just have to be the person that is going to get the explosion of the feedback of anger or whatever the case may be. But they're really just not into that. It's almost like telling a lady, go and have another child, man. You're young enough and whatever. And they're saying, listen, me done. And that, sorry, that's another show. Let me just leave that alone, right? But with that said, can someone be counseled or spoken to, let's say, or just like in many situations where persons you're trying to save them from themselves, kind of scenario, not that you're saving them from whatever, but persons you speak persons out of dangerous situations, generally. So even though they think this is the best for them now, it's really not good for them based on objective reasoning. Now, looking at this, not saying it's a great scenario that I use or an analogy, but can someone be counseled out of a situation where, listen, really and truly, because of what they've experienced in the past or what they've viewed, they would really like to go there, but they're so fearful that they've just decided to say, listen, I'm not going there. But can you say you can speak to someone that really can help them to see the lighter side, so to speak, of something that is really, studies have shown is a good thing when it does work?
Well, I think the first prerequisite for any kind of counseling is that the person has to believe that they want the help of counseling. First of all, you can't impose counseling on somebody else. It won't be successful. The person will just feel dictated to. Right. You have to kind of want. So if I'm a person who I know that I am fearful of marriage, but a part of me wants to get married, right? But I know that I have fears and trepidations about marriage. Then, if I go for counseling, I can benefit because the counselor can share, well, guess what? These are some of the approaches that aren't going to work for you in relationships. These are some of the ways you have to go about choosing a partner that's good for you. A counselor can kind of help you to make better decisions about your choices and better decisions about how you actually show up in a marriage that will increase your probability of fulfillment in that marriage. That's how the counselor could help you. But you have to first decide, I want to address my fears head on.
Right.
And then so I don't see it as really counseling a person out of their position on marriage per se, but supporting a person to confront their fears, I think, is a better way that.
Okay, and then from that platform, when you have, for example, two roads to choose, then when they're at the crossroads, a proper decision can be made after an assessment and viewing it, and they can decide, say, all right, you know what? Maybe I'm going to change my mind, and this is something I want to explore. Or, you know what? With everything that I've heard, and everything that you've expressed, I'm firm on my decision that I'm not gonna go that road. So it's giving them any.
Or I'm still not going to make a hasty decision. At least I'm going to wait and be selective, and I'm not going to allow a biological clock to make me leap into something or that I'm not ready for. So I come to the crossroads, but I'm going to be very analytical and selective about what I do once I come to that crossroads.
Got you. Do you think there's room for more awareness to be made of this? I mean, because as I said, I know a few here or there that might be saying, boy, I'm not gonna get married and it's not something for me. But I don't really know many, and I don't know how many people really know that many. But persons like yourself who are counselors, do you think are the numbers enough then? It's almost like something that is going extinct in terms of creatures going extinct. Do you think the numbers are coming to a level where you believe that there needs to be more awareness, not only for the general populace, but also for those who probably are quick to speak to those who are not wanting to get married and heaping more hurt and more pain on them? So more awareness for maybe the church, for example. I can speak to that where, with best of intentions, saying those things again and again every week the person comes in, it's almost like they want to hide away because they know that you're going to be coming to them about marital matters and stuff. So is there more awareness that needs to be made, not only for those who have gone that route, but also more awareness for us who to be aware of those who are not choosing that life and have chosen that they're going to stay that way?
Yeah. You know what I would say to that, O'Neill? I would say there is space for more awareness about why marriages fail. Right? Because if people could better understand how the mechanics of making their marriage work, right? Many marriages fail that don't have to fail.
Come on.
Okay? Too many marriages fail that are not about deal breakers, right? Yes. Too many marriages fail simply because people don't know how to relate to their partner, right? They don't have the skills to relate to their partner, okay? Because if that awareness gets out there, then I firmly believe that the divorce numbers can drop dramatically because people want happiness from their marriage. Number two, they get into marriage for the right reason, for the best of intentions. So more marriages can succeed. Too many fail that do not have to fail, right? And then if we address that, then the people who are fearful will have better role models, and they will less be driven by fear. And then those people who do not wish to choose marriage for whatever other reasons, they can be happy in their marriage and left to their own designs,
Right.
I think we should focus on the institution of marriage, making it far more robust.
Come on.
Okay? More robust, yes, so that people can thrive in a marriage, can have thriving marriages, and then people will be much freer to choose whether they want to or not, and without fear of being stigmatized because of their choice.
Sometimes I'm only disappointed in one thing, It took so long to preach that you're preaching now can take up the offering. Come on. You wait until 2 minutes left in the program.
Oh boy!
No,
invite me back then, O'Neill. Invite me back.
Don't worry. The producer is there, so she hears. No, but on serious note, that is absolutely exceptional. Rather than focusing on the opposite side, focus on making the marriages more robust. So when someone comes to a decision, they can't say the marriage I failed, or to a level. They can say, you know what, that is good, but I have personally chosen. But I can't say I didn't see good marriages. Exactly. So more good marriages, to be an example, is exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
We're about a minute left, so I think that is a great way to wrap up the program. I think we need another part to explore some more, but this is great knowledge that you've given us, and I thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us. I learned so much. So as we go, thanks for being here with us, everyone. If you have questions of a personal nature or are concerned about a friend or family member, call us at Family Life Ministries for our center in Portmore at 117 Cecile Avenue. 876-939-7917 is the number. For more information on our services or for our counselors in Kingston and other parts of the island, contact our head office at 920-1034 or 926-8101. Don't forget 876. Note that appointments can only be made by calling the offices. Otherwise, keep up to date with what's happening with the FLM and our programs. Find us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA. Before we leave you, here's this evening's Bible verse, Philippians 4 and verse 7. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. Join us again next week at 5:30 p.m. for another wonderful program on Love 101. Join us on our Facebook, YouTube Live, and Love 101's Facebook page and YouTube channel for more. Thanks again to our very special guest, Sonia Winter. Thanks also to our show producer, Kathy Gale, Open Door Communications, studio facilitator, Timoy Butler, and of course, you. On behalf of on behalf of all of us and myself, take care until next time. Bye-bye.